Hi, I'm Cathal Hughes.
And I'm Philip Jackson.
We're here today in Newry city centre on the banks of the Newry Canal, which is a deep urban canal. Hopefully we'll be able to show you how we would approach such a venue.
The canal was used in 1982 to host the World Championships, and since then, with the policy from the Loughs agency for catch and release, all fish are returned and fishing has improved greatly. Our target species for today are roach, bream, perch and maybe a few hybrids. Cathal's going to run us through the methods and the rigs that we're going to use to catch them, hopefully.
Okay, I've two rigs. They both incorporate Garbolino DS24 floats, which is a wire stem and hollow bristle. The reason for the wire stem is this venue is prone to a bit of wind, so the surface moving. So this will give the float a little bit of stability when this happens. Down the line, it's a basic, simple pattern. We've an olivette with a few droppers, and below that I have 3 number 9 shot. I've also set up a slightly heavier rig. That rig was 1.25 grams. This rig is a 2 gram, just in case the conditions worsen or we start catching a lot of fish. This rig has 6 droppers directly below the olivette. Now that allows me to move the olivette about and follow with droppers. Also, I've only 2 droppers on this, number 8s. That'll get the bait down to the bottom quicker, which in turn should hopefully catch us fish quicker. Both rigs have a single strand of elastic in the top. The lighter one is number 5 and the heavier one has a number 6. Hook size on both. On the lighter rig it's a size 20, and on this rig here it's a size 18 Chobertini Series 18 hook. So there you have the rigs. I'm now going to hand you over to Philip. He's going to run you through the baits we'll be using today.
First of all, we're going to use the ground bait mix, in this case Pro Natural dark ground bait. We're just going to mix that up nice and wet so that it sinks to the bottom of the canal fairly quickly. We're fishing in 15 foot of water, so we want it to go down straight to the bottom. The baits we're going to use in conjunction with the ground bait are pinkies, worms, which we're going to chop a few up, casters, we'll put a handful in at the start, and maggots, which will mainly be used for hook bait. And along with that, we're going to feed a little bit of hemp.
Okay, I can't emphasise enough the importance of plumbing up correctly. In order to catch fish properly, you need to be fishing at the right depth. So what I'm going to do, I'm attaching a 30 gram plummet onto my rig, and I'm going to ship it out and lower it in and see what the depth is. So here we go. I've picked a far bank marker. Here it's the edge of them green railings. So that's where I'm going to fish, so I want to get the exact depth there. Okay. You can see from that I'm about 18 inches too shallow. So I'm not deep enough, 18 inches. So this is all trial and error until you get the exact depth. So deepen up around 18 inches and run through the process again. So we'll ship out the pole to the spot and lower it in a straight line so the float is directly and the plummet is directly below the tip of the pole. So what I'm trying to achieve here is get just the tip of the bristle showing. Okay, you can see that there, but I've actually gone too far. I'm about 1.5 inches over depth there. Right, so I'm going to shallow up just that 1.5 inches. Now I'm just going to lower it down again after making that 1.5 inch adjustment, and we'll see where we are now. So slowly lower it down, lower it down, lower it down. Perfect, you can just see the tip of the bristle showing there. Now also, it's worth saying, right, to give you an idea of the contours of the bottom, once you've found the depth, you can go around and you can check around your swim. That way you will know if there's a little hollow or if it raises up, and you can do that from below your feet, so you know exactly what's happening on the bottom. So that's basically plumbing up. So that's going to be my starting point. So another little trick, I'm just going to remove the plummet Just going to attach the hook to the end of the pole. Then we'll slide it back here. So I'm going to mark it, little crayon pen. I'm going to mark the pole there. So I know if it gets a bit windier later, to give myself a little bit more stability, I can lift the float up. If I think them fish might have just lifted off the bottom a bit, obviously I can shallow up a bit. And if I want to go back to my original position, there we go.
To attract the fish into our peg now, we're going to introduce some ground bait. We'll probably put 3 or 4 balls in. The ground bait itself will bring the fish in, but along with that we're going to add some chopped worms, a few pinkies, and just a small pinch of castor. So we'll mix that in, form it into a ball, like so. We're going to introduce the ground bait by means of a pole cup, which is a very accurate way of feeding. We'll be putting the balls in the pole cup and pushing it out with the pole, taking a mark on the far side and tipping the ground bait in on the exact place every time. This means there's a nice tight area of ground bait on the bottom which will attract the fish in. There's a certain amount of cloud off the ground bait, plus there's an amount of food content in it, plus all the food that we're introducing through the ground bait will bring fish into the peg and hopefully better our chances of catching a few fish. So I'm pushing this out to the full length, which in this case is 11 metres. I have a mark on the far bank, which I line it up at, and I just tip the ball of ground bait in. The balls of ground bait will sink to the bottom, they'll break up, forming a nice little cloud and a nice bed of food for hopefully to attract fish in to feed on.
What a brilliant afternoon's fishing in the middle of November. For £16 senior licence and £2 junior licence off the Loughs agency, you wouldn't get it anywhere else. Absolutely fantastic.